Hi there, Casey Healey, Director here at Century 21 Novocastrian in Newcastle. Back with you for our Monday wrap, keeping Newcastle investors up to date on what's happening in the current rental market, tips, tricks, strategies to maximise your return on your investment. As always, Nicole, Hoare, our BDM investor consultant, joins us. Morning, Nick.
Morning.
How was your week? How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was good. Flat out to the end, race to the finish line.
Nick's been renovating a property, getting it ready to lease, so...
Just a few minor things to go.
You told me it was all done this weekend.
Oh, just minor clean, minor, just
So it's
finishing
been
touches.
listed today?
It will be listed, yes. Yes, it will be.
So look, if you want to know what the real truth is in owning investment property, Nicole's an investor, I'm an investor. We'll talk from experience to you in relation to our wins, what we've learnt about investing in property. So we're just not here as your property manager, we walk in your shoes.
We experience the good and bad. the lengthy vacancy, the time from settlement.
Yeah, there was some big lessons
paying...
learnt for you in this one in relation to the property you bought, how it was presented to you on settlement, and then what you wanted to do to actually make it low maintenance and to make it to attract the right tenant.
Yeah, and I think that's a big key thing, because we went in probably thinking, we're going to have that turned over within the week, tenants straight in. However, we had to do that full freshen up paint, limited time working, things like that. We're trying to save some costs, doing it ourselves and things like that. So, we had to accept there was that
vacancy period, that expense that wasn't originally factored in, that then had to come into play when you're doing your budget. So
we're paying the mortgage. We've had that. I think the day we paid our first mortgage payment, we had an interest rate increase. So we had to factor all that into it.
Yeah. So it's definitely about that budget and understanding your budget, because you're not going to have 100% vacancy for a full 12-month period. Let's talk management fees, because at the moment, going to be honest, there's a lot of agencies out there chopping management fees.
Yeah, and their conversations, and I say this all the time, things that I like to speak about is what I'm experiencing and what we're hearing out in the market. And it is, there are a lot of people are just looking at that initial...
That bottom line management fee, but not taking into consideration how an agency can actually put more money in their back pocket. For us, it comes down to the biggest factor where we save our landlords more money than any other agency, and I'm comparing against Newcastle's biggest property management agency right now, is days on market.
Yeah.
Our average days on market last month ended at 6.2 days on market. This company, 15 days on market.
Yeah. So
10 days with an average rental price over Newcastle is probably about $550, $600 a week now. That's $1,000 straight up we can save you.
Yeah, and I crunched some numbers actually, just looking at that average $550.
Yep.
And it is literally a cup of coffee. I think we don't think when you go buy coffee or your cakes or your lunches.
I could have that agent that's going to work with my best interest at heart over a cup of coffee.
Yeah, 100%. And that is literally what it is.
And the difference in the point of view from our team versus other teams or other property management agencies in the market is we're experienced investors ourselves, but we've also got skin in the game. So staff changeover within our office, our core team, our core leadership team have skin in the game, have skin in this business.
Yeah.
So that's a big...
And we're all hands on. It's as a team, any single one of us could jump in and pick up. Prime example for you last week, you actually stepped out of your role and sat in the shoes of an assistant with the property managers.
I was Ab's assistant last week.
Yeah.
It was actually quite fun, getting back in and doing the property management and actually supporting my team, because that's my job as the leader, right? I support my people and my people support our clients. So I look after them, they look after our clients. I was an assistant property manager last week.
And it's nice to have you as a director as hands-on. So you've got your finger, everything's going on with all of us. I think every day, you know what's happening within the office. And been seeing you in that office. Next up.
So things when you're interviewing a property manager, things you should ask is their average days on market. What's the average tenanture of the team? I've got property managers that have been with our office for 10 years this year. We've got property managers that have 15 years experience. I started my real estate career in 2001. Sounds old, doesn't
Count
it?
back.
Things like that. Dig deeper into how many periodical inspections they do. What's their marketing like? Compare marketing online. You'll be really surprised at how some agencies present marketing online. It's actually, that to me is the resume for the property. That's how you attract more people at your open houses. That's how you get more people through your front door. And if you can't present that property in its best light, it's not giving you the best pool of tenants to select for your property.
Yeah, but even behind the scenes, like there's so much, I think, that no one sees what's happening behind the scenes as a property manager. So the systems and processes, when you're looking at, as an investor, the fees, like that initial fee, it's just not about that.
You've got to dig
rental
deeper.
return.
You've really got to dig deeper. Show me your systems. How do you ensure that X, Y, Z is completed? How do you ensure that legislation's met? How do you communicate with me? Do you communicate with me how I want to be communicated, or do you communicate how you want to communicate because it's easier for you? We communicate on all levels. We love video. It's easy, it's quick, and it gets to you straight away, gets more views. And text message at the moment, we've got a text platform that we've started using. It's been 6 months now. I started that before Christmas. Wow.
But that comes directly to our team. We
That's
all
right.
receive that, and we all can view
Everyone
that.
can see open transparency. Everyone can see every message, but it can be assigned to what property manager needs to reply to. But we can reply to it anytime. It's quick, it's easy, and it's easy for you to use. Tenants love it. And we get people sometimes don't answer your call, but they'll write back to your text message.
Yeah.
We actually used it for NPS surveys over the last week. So we sent out a survey to both tenants and landlords. On average, how likely are you to recommend our agency? Tenants, we got a 9.3 response. 9.3 out of 10. That's amazing. And landlords, we got 9.5. So even better.
And that's awesome. So tenants are in a landlord's property, right? So they're the ones that
They're
we want to build
clients
that.
too.
Yeah, we want to build that relationship with them. We want to educate them and keep them updated. You know, with
Just
what's
as
happening.
much. I educate tenants just as much as I educate landlords. Because if we can keep them maintaining the property, looking after the property, in turn holds the asset value for our landlords, makes our job easier too, let's be honest.
Absolutely. And what about last week?
Last week we had 205 tenant inquiries, 12 inspections scheduled, 92 tenants registered to inspect. We received 78 applications and we leased 7 properties. Big number for leasing last week.
I think at a point earlier in the week we only had 2 properties online, and then we watched that go back up before the end of the week.
Yeah. So processing applications at the moment, we should get a couple away from Saturday as well. So good turnaround. That's us for this week. If you've got any questions about your investment property, remember cheap is not always better. Give us a call. Give us a call. Send us an email. We want to have that conversation with you. Look, if we're not right for each other, we're not right for each other. But hand on heart, we believe in what we do and the service we provide, and we're really proud to represent our agency in what we do. That's all from us.
I'm Nicole Hoare, investor consultant.
I'm Casey Healey, director here at Century 21. We'll talk with you soon. Bye.